"Wake up, sleepy. Wake up," she says, as he rolls over and brushes her off. She pinches him when he grunts. "I was having a nice dream." "A dream," she says. "A dream about what?" "Sports." She cracks a cheeky smile, grabs him and wrestles him. They tussle and they turn until he pins her down and kisses her. She strokes her hand through his hair while looking into his eyes and says, "We are only passing by." He opens his eyes and looks around the dark room, alone. He climbs up out of bed, looks at the whiskey brewery in the corner, and says in his head, "Today is the day." He picks up the bottle of his finest brew. All he sees is a ticket out of here. But just that moment, the church bells ring. And so he walks out of the hut and rambles through the cobbled streets of the town. The other villagers are pouring out of their huts as the sun bleeds into the morning sky. They exchange greetings and make their way up the hill to the church. But when they arrive, the deacon is standing out in front of the two great doors. My lambs, we have been blessed. Last night I had a vision. Come inside and I shall tell you all." They looked at each other, perplexed, and slinked into the church. The deacon roared from the altar, "My lambs, I know you fear the times. I know you see those arrogant men fool our youth with fantasies of progress. I know you see them coax our children into leaving our villages and entering their machine, where they enslave them with debt, and they boast about the Tower of Babel they have created, and they laugh at us, and they laugh at our humility. They call us ignorant, they call us backwards, they call us obsolete. They laugh with jest at the jovial talk of murdering us. But fear not, last night I had a vision where an angel showed me the future, and you and I were walking hand in hand through the rubble streets of their monstrosity, as God's green nature strangled their dying buildings. It has been prophesied. Go now and have faith." The congregation's eyes darted at each other, and then they stood up and began to leave. But the deacon called out, "Brenú, Brenú, not you, you, come here." And so Brenú moseyed up to the altar where the deacon was standing. The deacon looked him deep in the eyes and said, "Brenú, I see the sorrow in you. I know you wish to go to the city. But all I say is that you must have faith and not give in to the temptations." Brenú stoically nodded. The deacon nodded back, and Brenú left. And as he got out of the church, he saw what he'd been waiting for the whole morning. The cart had arrived. And so he ran to his house, grabbed his most treasured whiskey, and made it to the town square, where a congregation had gathered around the merchant. The merchant was exchanging coins and linens and fabrics for vegetables, for meats, for cheeses. "What news of the city?" someone shouted out. A somber look came upon the merchant. Standing up in his cart, he suddenly stopped. "Great woe has befallen our great city. You all know of the tradition of the princesses. When they come of age, they are to be brought to the book of life, and it is to be opened, and there they will discover the name written in blood of their true love. Well, it was the night before the coming of age of our fair princess, and in the shadows, under the moon, men of darkness stole the book of life and cursed the princess, and she has since fell into a deep, deep coma. And a villager roared out, "Have faith! God is good." And the merchant's sorrow turned to rage. God is not good. God has given leniency to the forces of darkness. Our princess was innocent. Our state is noble. Our ancestors starved and struggled in faith in Him. It is only when we took our destiny in our own hands that we make it anywhere. And still, men of darkness roam. God is not good. God is not going to save us. We are waiting for a man to stand up and solve this problem. We wait for no God. With a growl of scorn, the trader announces, "I'm done. No more for today. I return." And Brenú suddenly gets all anxious. He runs up to him and he says, You can't be done. Please, just take this. This is the finest liquor I've ever produced." No, says the trader. I'm done." So Brenú, in jest, shouts out, "I will give it to you for free if you take me to the city." The trader cocks his eyebrow and looks over his shoulder. "Okay, boy, get on the cart." And then they departed. The townsfolk watched the two of them fade off down the road. They travelled for many hours, through forests and lanes. And just as they were arriving at the gates of the city, the merchant asked, "Why do you want to go to the city, boy?" Brenú replied, "I wish to save the princess." And the merchant chewed on his thoughts. It is said that the curse can only be lifted by the kiss of a true man. He reached down, pulled out a leather bag and handed it to Brenú. Brenú opens it up and sees a sword. The merchant says, "That is the sword of the ancestors, made from the bones of the most titanic men. You will need it. Keep it hidden." And so they arrive at the city gates and pass through. Brenú, all full of excitement, asks, "Where is the princess?" "No," says the merchant. "First you will have to talk to him." He focuses on a man in a crown, surrounded by burly bodyguards. It is the king. But Brenú bravely hops out of the cart and chases towards him, stopping right at his feet and announcing, "Great king, I am here to resurrect your daughter." "Are you now?" says the king. "And how do you suppose you will do that?" "Because I am a true man, sir. Allow me to see her, and I will prove it to you." The king snaps, "You know nothing about the nature of such curses. If you are not the true man, and I allow you to see her, she will die and be lost to me forever. I am not risking her life on your promises. But there is a way. If you wish to see her, go get the Book of Life. And if we open it and see your name, then we will know." Brenú stands and says, "I'll do it." And the king sternly stares back and says, "Okay." He looks at his two bodyguards, and they grab Brenú and lead him to a side gate of the castle. They crack them open and laugh. "You think you'll find the Book of Life? Many men have tried to find the Book of Life. Many men have ventured into this forest, and none have returned." They start snickering, boot him out into the mud, and shut the gate firmly behind him. Brenú picks himself up, looks around at the great walls, and turns to the dark, shadowed forest and walks in. And he goes deeper and deeper into this forest. and the leaves get blacker, and the air gets closer to mist. The hoots of owls turns into far-off screeches and howls. He sees movement around him, flickering. It gets closer and closer until all of a sudden, from the trees, several dark, skeletal figures show up. They seem like they are made of mist. Brenú runs, but they trip him, grab him, and suddenly he wakes up and opens his eyes. He finds himself at the feet of a throne made of bones, and sitting upon it is a creature wearing a crown of black. "Who are you?" says Brenú. "I am the leader of our forgotten tribe. You came here after speaking to the king, did you not?" And Brenú nods. "We did much the same. We were sent here by the king on a promise. He said that if we can defeat the evil force in the forest, our names will be in the book of life. So we ventured in bravely. We were promised the princess upon victory. But he never told us that those who perish will wander the earth as forgotten shadows." But Brenú pipes up, "I did not come here to fight any monster, any evil one. I came here for the book of life." "Oh, we know, because we are the ones who took the book of life. And we intend to rewrite our names into the book of life. But we have a problem. To write our names in the book of life, we need blood. We need sacred blood." And just that moment, they swarm on him and drag him, again in blackness, until they release him out on the shore of a lake. They point towards the still waters and say, "Go there." Brenú scampers, but as he does, there's a roar that bursts from the lake. Tearing out of it is a great reptilian beast with huge, sharp teeth. It comes screaming towards them. The sword flashes in Brenú's mind. He rips it out of his clothing, pulls it up into the air, and strikes at one of these gangly tentacles that are reaching out for him. He severs it off to a holler from this monster. He shoves the sword straight up through the arc of its mouth. There's a crunching sound as it passes straight through. The monster screams. He can smell its breath, but it retreats. It slinks, roaring back into the waters and vanishes. Brenú clambers to his feet, turns around. He sees all of the dark figures bowing in awe. "You, sir, are a true man." The king takes a knee in front of him and takes out a leather-bound book. "You, sir, have earned this. They say, take your sword, take the blood upon it, and write your name in the book of life. We shall remain forgotten." But Brenú takes a knee and says, "You will not be forgotten. I will make sure that the king erects a statue in your honor, and forever you will be remembered." And they erupt in a cheer, take Brenú and guide him back to the edge of the forest. He rushes back to the castle. Everyone is turning and staring. They're astounded. He has it. He has it. He walks up to the king and says, "Take me to her, now." The king sees what has happened and obliges. He's released into the princess's chambers. He runs up to her, takes a knee, rubs his hand across her hair, and whispers, "Wake up, sleepy." And she wakes up. Her eyes flicker. She looks confused. Who are you? Their hands touch, and he says, "I am a true man." He lifts her up to her feet, but just then, someone comes bouncing in behind him. Brenú turns around and says, "Who the fuck are you?" "My name is Fuckboy. I'm an influencer and a rapper." And Brenú says, "Okay dude, that's cool. Get the fuck out of here." But then the princess says, "I kinda like his name." Brenú's eyes furrow. He spins around and looks at her. "What?" "Look, Brenú, was it? It was so nice what you did, but I've been asleep for so long. I really don't know who I am. I really need to find myself. I really have to go explore before I make any serious life decisions. I really think I should go with Fuckboy." Brenú, shocked, turns to the king and says, "What is happening? Do something, do something." The king shrugs his shoulders and says, "Sorry, but I'm no patriarch. She can do what she wants." Fuckboy and the princess walk hand in hand out that door, and Brenú, he looks around and storms out. He gets back to his village as fast as he can, marches straight up to the church, bows before the deacon and says, "I want to become a monk."
All my life I've been working for the money. All my life I've been chasing after honeys. All my life you could never take it from me. Got the confidence of every motherfucker who said fuck me. Fuck you. Go figure, now the boy here rising like the sun in the morning. Yeah, that's the horizon. Raise the bar like Verizon. In my town I'm the flash. You see the sun shining, forever climbing.